Glasgow High School. The time is 7:40. This is the Christina School District's July 9th school board meeting called. Can you do a roll call to make sure you have quorum?
Mr. Liu,
Wyatt Liu present.
Dr. Amy Trout.
Ms. Moriak,
Present.
Mr. Manley, Dr. Bacher,
Dr. Present.
According to Delaware Code. Check. So this is a point of order.
Check. There we go.
Mr. Manley.
This is a point of order, Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Manley, hold on, please. We're doing a roll call. So the point, you're out of order.
Of order.
Could you please just answer whether you're here or not?
Point of order. According to Delaware Code, Title 14, Chapter 10, Section 1054, Naveed Bakir is not a school. Count 6 members present. Title 14, Chapter 10, Section 1054 states, if any school board member ceases to be a resident of the reorganized school district, that member shall cease to be a member of its school board.
Mr. Manley,
Title
you're out of
30,
order.
Chapter 11, Section 1103 states, a resident individual of this state means an individual who maintains a place of abode and spends in the aggregate more than 183 days of the taxable year in this state. The taxable year in Delaware is from January 1st through December 31st. Up until today, July 9th, 188 days have elapsed. There are 366 days that is a leap year. And there are only 182 days in which a person can be absent from the state in order to be considered a resident per Title 30. Naveed Bakir has not been physically present for any general board meeting this year and has been physically present for one policy meeting on January 4th, 2024. Even if we allow for 5 days in the state for that trip, he would still have been absent 183 days, which is more than the allowable limit. And even if he were to Delaware for the rest of the year, he would not be able to overcome that deficit. According to Delaware law, Naveed Bakir is not a resident and thus is not a board member. I count 6 members present.
So could you please, are you present? Thank you. Right. Next person. Donald Patton present. There are 7 present. So at this point, we have a quorum.
I count 6 members present.
The next order of,
We have to deal with the point of order.
there is no point of order.
There was 100% a point of order.
No.
He made a point of order.
So what I'm not going to do tonight is entertain this nonsense. The fact of the matter is that there was something to the audience. You are a guest. And if you are going to yell out and scream out, I'm going to have the room cleared. This is going to be agree, and I'm going to allow as many people who want to speak to come and speak. But what we're not going to do is be disrespectful. What you're not going to do is yell out and scream out and do all these things that are inappropriate for this setting. So if you do it, I'm explaining to you now that I will clear the room and we will conduct this business in an orderly way. So please, I want each of you to be able to have a voice if you want to come up, if you signed up. I'm trying to figure out how to allow all of you to come up here to speak. But what I'm not going to do is allow you to be disruptive.
By children.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So
According to Robert's rules, we still have to have a conversation There has to be work around the
So-
point of order.
So the fact,
And remember, we are being watched by the DOJ because we
the
were
fact that Mr.
iffy on some of
Manley,
our Roberts rules in the
the
past.
fact that Mr. Manley was out of order in taking a roll call and reading an inappropriate statement. And if I may say,
He read the law. How is that inappropriate?
because it's not a part of the agenda.
It's the law.
It's not a part of the agenda, and it is not the law in this case. We spoke with the attorney today, and there is nothing that prohibits the gentleman that you're all talking about, Dr. Bakir, whose kids go to our district, who has a house and lives in our district. We know the situation, why he's where he is. So here and do this is just kind of disrespectful. So at this point, what I'm going to do is, again, is to ask that we follow the agenda. That is not a part of the agenda. Please.
So you had a conversation because you were concerned about his residency? I was not part
I
of
had
the
a conversation because I knew what you wanted to do.
Well, that's funny because I didn't know.
Right. Well, we all do, but I don't want to get into that because that does just what people are expecting for us to do, Monica, which is not conduct the business. We're going to conduct this business. Disruption you guys want to cause. The next is Pledge of Allegiance. Can we stand for the pledges of allegiance, please? I pledge it.
To the flag. This was flag. The public for just silence. One nation under God. Indivisible. Liberty and justice.
So just to be clear, because it's suspect about whether or not Dr. you, all of these votes that we take tonight.
Can't hear you.
Just to be, all of these votes could, because we do not have we may have someone on the board who legally board and should have resigned when you moved to Pakistan.
Point of order. I would like to have a point of order, please.
Go ahead.
All right, so what Mr. Manley said is actually 1,000% valid. That is assuming that we know exactly which date Dr. Bakir has been in and out of the country. So in a country that we actually value due process as we all agree upon, we are going to assume innocence until proven guilty, please. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda.
I'd like to approve the agenda with the following.
One second. So the next item on the agenda, so we're changing the agenda, but we're changing the format for public comment because there was a law apparently passed last year that you have to make sure that before you do a vote, you have public comment. And so traditionally, we would just go ahead and elect the
but he's
because
still
of this
a member
law,
of the
we're
school
going to have to modify our agenda. And so at this point, I would ask Mr. Manley if he would go ahead and make the adjustments.
So I'd like to approve the agenda with the following modifications. Move 5.01, approval of agenda, to 3A. Move public comment to 3B. Remove 12.01, University of Delaware. Remove 12.08, SRO contract school year 2025. And move 12.05, preliminary budget, and 12.06, tax warrant, after 8.01 CBOC report.
We haven't got there yet. Hold 1 second.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah.
I didn't
So
get that.
can you
Yes.
go back to the beginning?
Yes, so approve the agenda with the following modifications. Move 5.01, approval of agenda, to 3A. Move public comment to 3B. Remove 12.01, University of Delaware. Remove 12.08, SRO contracts school year 2025. Move 12.05, preliminary budget. and 12.06 tax warrant after 8 CBOC report.
Is
Can I
everyone
second it now?
Is everyone clear on those changes? Okay, at this time I would need a motion.
I think Doug made the motion. I am seconding it.
Okay, Doug, you're right. Doug made the motion. Naveed seconded. There has been appropriately motioned and second. Call for the vote. All in. Are we doing electronic on this? So.
To get into diligent.
Yes, and I just voted. Thank you, Dr. Shelton, for checking on.
So this will be the first vote. See if it should pop up right up on your screens.
It did.
Excellent.
Well, mine's not.
Dr. Bakir, you're good too?
But I'm a yes.
Yes,
Mine's
sir.
not up.
And you're good on the PC?
Yes.
It worked better? Excellent.
Waiting for your vote. Okay,
I vote yes. Oh, hold on.
it just popped up for me.
She pushed it for, when she pushed it, it goes to everybody. Doesn't do it.
But
It hasn't popped up for me here.
And it pops.
Okay, it just. Okay.
Okay. So the motion passes 7-0. The next item on the agenda would be Dr. Shelton. So we need a motion to appoint Dr. Shelton as
Public.
I'm sorry. Yep, we moved it to public comment. So at this point, so this is what I was able to negotiate with the board. Normally, and I'll read it in a minute. Normally you get 3 minutes and 20 minutes total. We realize this is a pressing topic for a lot of people. So we negotiated the fact that we're going to give people, we're going to try to get everyone up to speak. What I would ask you to do, because it is so many, that we're going to cut it to 2 minutes. So, so what we could do, let me explain to you what the process is, what the policy is. The policy is 3 minutes, 20 minutes max. We're trying to give you 40 or 50 minutes. So we're doubling the time. So we're giving you 2 minutes instead of 3. And that was negotiated because we want to hear the voices, the folks that have come out. We want to hear what you have to say. So if there's immediate objections to that, we can go back to the 3 minutes and have 7 people speak on the topic. But I would prefer to hear all of you. Thank you very much. I'll take that as a yes. So do we know which one of these are online and which one are in person? Maryland, do
all the papers should be in person.
all of these are online?
They're not necessarily all online because somebody could have put online, but they're going to be here. So we'll find.
All right. Okay.
I know, at least I see more, that you couldn't see.
All right. Because we're going to allow all of you 2 minutes and you have a clock that you'll be able to. So we'll have a running clock and we'll start with the first one, Rich Jester. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me read the rules so that you're clear on, they're a little bit modified. The board shall provide a board-approved public comment
This
format.
super
Building.
gross.
That's not. Sorry. The board, testing. Okay. The board shall provide a board-approved public comment format at or near the entry of each meeting site before the meeting begins. A member of the public who wishes to speak publicly shall first complete and sign the form and provide it to the board designated clerk at the meeting site. The form shall at a minimum provide, and remember some of these we just modified with you. So I'm going to use a modified language. The public comments are limited to 2 minutes per individual speaker, and we'll eliminate the 20-minute time. That repetitive, personal, and comments are prescribed. That the proceedings, that are recorded for accurate documentation of minutes. That upon the president striking of the gavel, an individual speaking publicly must immediately cease speaking. The president will then explain the basis of the gavel. I will not gavel. I will just ask you to the comments until we can get a clarification on what the situation. And the individual shall not resume speaking until authorized by the president. That by signing the form, the individual has read, understands, and agrees to comply with the terms and conditions set forth on the form. You may also participate in the public comment by completing the online form found at www.christina12.org/public comment by 6 p.m. the day of the meeting. Please note, and this was a change this year, individuals may not donate time during public comment. Those are the rules we'll operate off of this evening. So we'll start with the, did I move it? Rich Jester?
No, he's here.
Yeah. Mr. Jester, you'll have 2 minutes in there. Are we putting the clock up? So the clock will be up for you to be able to see. Thank you very much.
I won't be too. Members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. My name is Rich Chester. I'm addressing you as a taxpayer and a former member of Christina School District's Citizen Budget Oversight Committee for Christina from 2018 to 2023. I'm here tonight to express several concerns, most notably reports of troubling behavior from a certain board member. At Kirk Middle School, his behavior towards the assistant principal was described as intimidating and condescending. At Gauger Middle School, his tenure included verbal threats and aggressive outbursts towards staff. At Bayard Middle School, his repeated harassment of young African-American teachers contributed to a high turnover rate. At Christiana High School, his aggressive behavior towards a female employee led to his transfer to the district office, where he resigned in 2020. At the Delaware Academy of Public Safety and Security, in 2018, he was the acting board president when the school went bankrupt and was shut down by the state. All the time while still being employed by Christina School District. And while his personal record might be empty now, as someone who has served on many state committees and audited many state organizations, I can testify that it is frighteningly easy for him or anyone to remove negative reports from a personnel file and have it purged in 2019, back when paper was still how we did a lot of our filing at the district office. It is extremely concerning to me that this repeated, recurring, almost sociopathic pattern of behavior is unacceptable.
Excuse me, hold on 1 second, please. So we're not going to characterize anyone regardless of who it is. So please, you can continue with your comments, but I would ask you to just not use characteristics of someone that you have no information about.
Okay.
Go ahead, you can finish.
Rather than focusing on the non-renewal of someone's contract tonight, which will trigger a mass exodus of the best teachers, an influx of lawsuits, school closures, and eventual privatization of the school district, the board should vote to remove you, Mr. President, today.
Thank you very much. Next person for Scorsese. And why is she here or is she online? Is she online, Bob? No, I know. Bob, they're saying that the people who are online cannot hear the comments. Is there anything we can do to? Okay. So listen to.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay. Have to. Follow. This is something.
Christine. Is she present? Or is she? They'll go.
PTSD community. As a parent of students in the district, I understand the community and my children's education. sporting events, concerts, theater productions, ceremonies. Effort is important, and being there for everything I can shows my children that I care. 90% what I expect of myself as a parent. As a parent, I understand the importance of my children showing up, being present. They have responsibility to come to school and be an active participant in their learning. The state of Delaware of our students for 1,060 hours each year. Effort is grace. We allow 18 days before we question if they've had the opportunity to learn enough in each grade. 90% is what we are asking of our students. As an educator, I understand the importance of showing my students. We also need to be prepared and available to communicate on topics to our job and our each year, being present, but and we attend here for 6 personal time. 95% is what we expect of our educators. 43%. What if students 3%? What if myself as a parent, I was only 43%? 43% would be a provide email, but I'm requesting tonight that the superintendent launch an investigation into the eligibility of Naveed Bakir. Delaware takes more than of physical part of our CSD community.
Then
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
If you
And we got stuff that we don't get. Yeah. I mean, okay, good idea. You want? Sure. Christine Mack. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've been since 1988 when my daughter first started here. I was on the school board here, and I was on I know to be on the school board, especially Christina's school board, is the hardest one in the state. And on it, you really don't know how hard it is to be on. I also have some pretty good stories. Some of the people up on stage, which I'm sure the people behind me will. But the superintendent has what you do when you're the superintendent of this district is what's important and looked at. I have before. You have to be a board to comply with them. If you don't, that means you yourself when you're working together. policies. You need to learn the laws that govern you. You need a workshop so that you can learn them. It's obvious watching you that you don't know them. Your grievances are irrelevant. You have children who are counting on you. That's what your job is, to work on behalf of the children in this district. I am not seeing that when I hear about the board, when I watch you up on stage. If you have any other agenda other than serve in this district, you are.
Thank you, Con. Whoever. So the next.
Good evening. My name is Kyle Lynch, and I'm a former Christina student. I hired Christina teacher. I live in Christina. I've worked in Christina for 15 years. I'm the vice president of the Christina Paraprofessionals Association. I say I am part of this district. This is part of me. I'm invested, and I believe. I speak tonight by those I represent. Their concern was tonight's agenda, specifically the non-administrative of the superintendent of the superintendent on administrative leave. Articles have implied that this is due to a disagreement between the superintendent and members of the board. Many people have plans to show up and support members or the superintendent, and I want to make it clear I'm not doing either. Instead, I propose a third option, supporting exclusively the students of Christina. So if support their safety or positive learning outcomes, or if any action creates a negative impact on students, that we do not entertain the action at all. I can support moving forward. The reason, the president, the plan, the district students must be very clear. These meetings are held at these items or the agenda until such a time when a transparent plan with positive outcomes can be shared with the public. To be clear, the answered are, is it imperative contract plan forward once the decision is made? What will be the condition we're extending? What and in terms of work distribution in the district? Will there be consequences that will filter down to affect the students? And what possibilities come from making these decisions? If these questions no plan, if there is no these could be unnecessary consequences. There are so many hurdles to jump. I will create new success. Thank you. Good night.
McBerry, and I am the very proud principal. I served in. There we go. 15 Christina 2011. Christina School District. I've experienced a lot of dysfunction in public education. However, we're seeing from a school board in 28 years. In hindsight, I guess I should experienced, witnessed. We're all district on the backs of hard and for and let me be clear, it is not this district should not have to suffer for. Is I have a wonder, is everyone that so many of us old heads have craved, needed, not what do any courtesy of understanding our students, my colleagues and I, or any standing professional until late at night, not because that you said, where the show stand with Dan. Some in intimidation, still. They, and many of us are, but we do lean forward and thank you. We do, and do not function impact and the work we know because we're hourly. This gets not fair. Enter this profession with that agenda tonight. To a board meeting tonight. Surprise. You called upon Mr. Pat and Maya Angelou. I have it tattooed. For Pat. But you all please vote no to
So okay, so in that order.
I see. The current. The Christine.
More. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Martha Lee, and I'm a school to this facility's master plan proposal. While I believe this plan was created with an eye towards cost-saving consolidation. The plan as it currently stands appears to me to improve other spaces at the expense at Glasgow. I'd like to start with a short anecdote regarding a conversation I had with a student at the end of the year. I was at the stairwell where Glasgow, the district office, for those who don't know, it's in that direction. There's a door that separates the school from the district area. And during my lunch, students sat with me. Towards the end of the year, with one of these students, the student looked in the window. Nice. As I explained what the district office does, the student listened attentively, taking a deep breath window longingly at the newly renovated, painted, brand new area that is the district office, and said, "They over there." I hope that nice. This is great. She's going to return in the fall to Glasgow. And her, if you pass this plan, how do I tell her patients coming to Glasgow are for other people, other students that don't attend here? Is areas of the offices of people who her. The improvement work inside of high school with student interaction. How do I tell that student that maybe her because to a district office space or to accommodate networks, Glasgow has to limit our program. How do I tell her that in writing this plan literally said this is a value feature in a day? I ask of you, what is the definition of harm if it is access to that program to students in this building? Maybe I could send them to you. The board explain how you voted for a plan that reduced square foot per student in the utilization, and that classroom of 30 and 31 students where the building is under. Can you explain to them how you would they use that dehumanization square foot per student calculation, even though Glasgow was still to give up more space? Yeah. I have several other points in here, but I'm trying to be quick because I know I'm over. You explain that you voted for a plan that removes space, programming, and access programming from a school that has a 33% low-income population, that has nearly double the percentage of multilingual, a 23% student population of students with disabilities, 2% homeless rate, we have 1% minority population, and this is the school. Last one, sorry. We as a district are voting, and I cannot think that the parents and the community will vote for a district that has purposely cut programming and the students and the populations that I mentioned before. Despite, I still anticipate spending $20 million in Glasgow, and I ask, what is the $20 million to locate all the students of Christiana? I would like this is last paragraph. I would like this board to this building to district office or networks. It belongs to the staff. Everyone else, please vote no.
So
Hi, thank you. My name is Cindy Romer. I am the state representative for the 25th district, including this area we are in now. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank our teachers, administrators, paraprofessionals, and support staff for our district in the 2023-2024 school year. Put a significant decision regarding the suspension of our superintendent, the Christiana School Board, and it is crucial that you tread carefully and thoughtfully. Please consider the impact of your actions on the students, parents, teachers, and staff who rely on stable and effective leadership. Suspending Dr. Shelton, even with pay, is a serious and costly move that could disrupt the progress and initiative Hiring an interim superintendent is be asking to vote yes on a referendum. It is essential that you communicate clearly and transparently with our community about the reasons and the steps you take to ensure continuity and stability. As you proceed, please remember to be on ensuring the highest quality education for our students. Every decision is by this commitment. I urge you to be thoughtful and transparent in your approach to this item from the agenda. In the past hour, we have already witnessed new FOIA violations, so I want to justice for their presence to monitor this board. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Katie Yoon, teacher within the district, and a member 15 years now. I'll be honest with you, days because quite contribution from the board, and that may seem silly, but that's how a lot of people feel. As a member that I'm a member of, it's too me not to speak up about the climate within this district and board, because every group are students. My first grade class had a lot of fun. They came from several different backgrounds. I had students who came from traumatic situations, including one who literally had to flee. And sorry, that student came here not speaking English, was terrible. My 6 and 7-year-olds welcomed this child with open arms. They were comfortable and they made that student feel welcome, and it was heartwarming to see. At an event back in May at our school, we had my students made a quilt, actually hung back there at the last meeting, just showing that we're a family. We work through problems. We work through our. This brings me to my reason for speaking tonight. The school is affecting our community in a negative way. There's a vendetta precedent over what is the children. We have kids who are from trauma until they get to school. And what goes on behind the scenes. The money to remove someone, and we don't need this district. It's embarrassing that the DOJ is now watching you. You know, I see comments on pride in this district to help become better, along with my colleagues, our district. And, you know, comments like, oh, there's Christina for you, going to pass, and they want more money. You know, I see comments like that, and it's disheartening. The referendum's going to be hard. My 68 parents aren't going to support it, and they're proud of me as a teacher. They're proud of me, but they don't want to pass it because they see this waste of money. In the time I've been in Christina, 14, going on 15 years, we've had anyone that I feel who is actually put to make our district better.
Katie.
That's, you know, I feel like we're on the right track. I'm not care too much about my past, present, and future students. You need to is to serve the students. Your time.
Thank you.
See how to resolve. My 6 and 7-year-olds will show you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Gretchen Luce, and I'm the president of the Association, and I'm presenting a I come to the decision to not renew our superintendent's contract and to place these decisions, while it may seem transparency, accountability of our students and staff. First and foremost, successful education that the community has placed in our school board. The lack of necessary anxiety for smooth these decisions without public overseeing the final fact that this student district placing potentially disrupting the continuity and stability. Students and staff can face challenges in potential new hires, creating another barrier to try to fill needs throughout the program for the students we serve. In publicly and placing together, let us educational system that serves the best interest of our community.
Thank you. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening.
The Kevin.
Good evening. My name is Christiana. I serve as state representative for the 26th district, which has lots of families and students that are served by the Christiana School District. And I cannot believe that I'm here at this meeting in the conditions that we're all here under. I'm speaking up for my constituents and families that I'm proud to represent, but as a member, I should not feel in on school board matters the way that I do today. And I shouldn't have felt like we needed to get the board or to, as the last speaker said, babysit. But we do. There's no employee on paid administrative leave when they're clearly not meeting goals, but putting a superintendent on paid leave for a year with no evaluation, no metrics from is frankly irresponsible of taxpayer dollars. We are currently in a very real teacher shortage. There's already talk in the district, and the last thing that we need is more chaos and uncertainty. In the past few months, numerous staff and community members have come to me asking to help them in this situation. I completely hate it. And I'll speak to what was mentioned earlier. I don't care if it was 20 years ago. It's disturbing. The amount of disturbance with me by who speak up because of retribution is just, it makes and share their stories. But I'm here speaking up for them, for people who do so, people who serve districts, our families, our students. We've heard from some of them tonight, and I applaud those who are brave and speak publicly, but I know that my ask is to focus on Robert's Rules of Order. And we should about what's the point of order? That's not a point of order. Forward. And you would know Robert's Rules of Order, or maybe that's just not important to you following the rules. The other thing that I think you need to focus on is about residency. And sure, due process can be part of it. You can't have live in the country. And idea, maybe the board can focus on teachers, not petty grievances or personal disagreements. Be public servants, not tyrants. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Art Madrick, and I'm standing basically doing something I feel there's really no need to do. Speaking on behalf of Mr. Patton. Mr. Patton. Yeah. Speaking on behalf of Mr. Patton, basically, Mr. Patton is a servant in this district. On that school or that situation that gotten better. Just to name a few, he started. Well, I know he was there. He implemented some programs there, beneficial to kids. Then he was an assistant principal there, and then I know he went on to Kirk as an assistant principal. They instantly got better. He went on to the position of the principal there. Kirk went from an underperforming school to the only school in the district to meet the standard. Then from there, he left. There a lot of different programs. He's all, and that's, like I said, every situation that he goes into, and he's strong. So a lot, I could probably call him something else. Claim he has some kind of a hidden agenda. Not these at Biden. I mean, it was his leadership that got prior to that. I'm assuming they're still running the middle school athletic program, which is beneficial to the kids. That started. So in everything with his hand has gotten instantly better at every level. And that he's, and I don't want to act as if I know what's going on in the district, because that's not my concern. It is my concern, but and try get rid of some of these, well, I'm gonna just say the word lies that are being, you know, he's not going to be found that they're putting out there. And talking about, you name one patent, and I get. So again, all paid him. If some I have some retribution they have to deal with. Thank you.
It's a great. You're, and then
Family, my name is Karen Gray. I'm a proud Christina educator and I'm a resident. Over the past few weeks, I meet with educator union members from around the world and across the country. My experiences gave me a better understanding of two things, and they have nothing to do with this Board of Education other than I'm asking for your consideration of these thoughts. First, educator unions are important to our community. They offer collective bargaining, which strengthens the economy, helps working families get ahead, and lessens racial and socioeconomic inequality, which is part of what is impacting our district right now. Together, with strong management and leadership, we can make schools a great place to work and learn. The second thing is that strong public schools are the result of growth. Growth takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't necessarily happen with of outsiders to come in and tell us how to do things. We can look like testing and attendance to compare our schools. But there are many studies and sources that contend that these measures can be unfairly disadvantageous to some students and some groups. Consider instead looking for small wins and I love and hearing the pride in educator voices as they talk about school successes when we do those shared. Surely we can do more to share these stories with our whole Christina family and sort of build the pride among everybody, build a community, and remember that we are all here for the kids. The kids are our future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Ivanetta Jones, and I am a retired educator and resident of the Christina School District for 26 years. I am the grandmother of 3 Christina School District students. I am also the mother of a former school district board president. I am here tonight to discuss concerns about the direction this school board is taking and the inevitable impact it will have on the education of the 13,000 students enrolled in public schools. The Christina School District has had many leadership and board changes since I community 26 years ago. We've seen board members and district leaders come and go. Until recently, I thought Christina had turned a corner. You passed a much-needed referendum in 2020, and you hired an experienced superintendent with strong community ties. 2 years ago, Dr. Shelton was voted of the year in Delaware. For the first time in decades, I heard positive talk about the district from its employees and community members. But recently, the drama of Christina returned. This year, I've watched school board meetings descend into chaos. Board on stage. Board members take school board arguments onto local television shows. Board into impromptu trials with, quote, witnesses coming up for public comment like a television courtroom. Accusations of anti-Black toward board members, but 3 board presidents were diverse schools in the state. Tonight, this board is taking a vote to not superintendent for unknown reasons or for no reasons. There's a board member who has been out of the country since the beginning of this year, and the department is now monitoring all board questionable actions. This is unprecedented and completely unnecessary. With the challenges facing this district in the next year or two, passing another referendum, carrying out redistricting plans, commission, and attracting and retaining educators in a competitive job market, this board needs to stop and bring back dignity and respect. Our are watching, our watching, our watching. We expect our elected board, Christina educators, and not against them. I also want to make it clear that this board is voting on non-renewing a contract up for renewal to send the superintendent home, pay his salary, and district. Taxpayers, beware.
Please. What's the name? Paul.
First of all, before I start online, you say that there are 3 minutes allotted. So I don't know when you changed that, but it wasn't available online today. Okay. I'm Harry Ellen Minahan. I'm a resident of the Christina District, a retired teacher with 20 years of experience, 18 of them at Bancroft Elementary School. I was an Education Association.
Could you speak?
I was an of the retired of the Board of Directors of Pencader Charter School and the Christina School Board, where I served as president. It tells you, with the exception of one old enough to be your thinking you represent. There are people, there are 2 who they are not to recommend. They are doing that because but to attend, and I don't know why. Last year, I saw them up out of their seat. There was no control. As the board, if you person who you have contact on the form they have filled out, use it. Christina is facing a multitude for decades. It's one contiguous charter schools in this district, teaching today, experience, and it doesn't appear that you're doing so. The answers aren't easy, but ignore the solution. I might suggest to you that you consider board a current who can advise you about of procedure. That person would be selected by the district, not a classroom teacher. A major district right now is the 10th since 1992. He chose 10 with any teacher in our district. Now, for some remove him and spend to hunt down superintendent number 11. Dan Shelton has, from his earliest days, to a teacher and very successful superintendent. In 2022 of the year, yet you want to dismiss him. This makes no sense to me. And keep it for people. You are going to vote for a referendum in the next 12 months. The last time and the community complained, they were told from the dais, if you don't like what we're doing, go start. And it's called New Orleans. And they now have 7 of your kids. Thank you.
Mr. Bumback.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the Christina community here in person and online. I'm Paul Baum. In complaint to the Delaware Attorney General's office, the complaint details alleged repeated violations of district policy. The board attorneys responded had no jurisdiction over but the 2 were at the AG's office agreed with that by the board. The AG's office took client actions, including the board fails to if these were violations on the monthly meeting of the board, be somewhat. These are not. These violations are in the 9th and 11th monthly meeting of this leader. The collective policy violations coupled with the board to multiple laws. The Delaware General AG's on the next year. We this board behavior. What will you do? I'm sorry. The board next year today stated that he plans on putting the superintendent on administrative leave for the cost the district. Is the board president strong to get passed? Seems like a great plan. Einstein's definition of insanity. To know different leadership. Those are the facts we do tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. Before I begin my prepared comments this evening, as a point of clarification for the board who are interested, it has public comment is limited to board policy, limited not to 20 topic. I would urge in mind in the future. Good evening, Dr. Shelton. My name is Elizabeth. I'm a 30 of this district, a graduate of the school we stand in, and children through our district. In fact, my parents were the ones who fundraised to put the lights in the stadium in this building. We have a history about our community. When filling out the for this evening, my topic was tonight's agenda. Rather than addressing agenda item, I would like how tonight's agenda is approached, and for the future considers. Board Policy 1.07 regarding board meetings states the following. When in public at the meeting, each board member shall use to retain the board student as expressed in the of the board. Comply with Delaware Code, the Board Policies Manual, and Robert's Rules of Order. It is my keep this policy in mind before engaging in discussion on tonight's agenda items. Board members' recent meetings and forums indicate that this reminder is warranted. 07 references that the beliefs of the board, which are outlined in 0 of the board policy manual. There is one specific section of the beliefs of the board that I would like to call out attention to, as highlighted on the Meet the Board page of our district website. The second belief of the board is as follows. We must aspire to a trajectory of high expectation to all our parents and all our students. Please note that we approved a policy that puts yourselves first in those high expectations. I urge it to hold its own beliefs and focus on students entirely too much in this district on grown-ups acting like children, engaging in publicly fought personality wars and power grabs. It is evidenced by the smugness with which the board leadership receives the multiple comments this evening. Lastly, I urge the board tonight that follows to embrace the expectations that you put on to members of the community. Do before commenting. Try first. If you must then public comment, avoid personal insults and attacks, and don't be repetitive. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, am I? District first is teaching. That no. Thank you.
Thank you. Bob, Steve Ramos, I'm sorry, is on. Or excuse me. Okay, thank you. We for the where's my agenda? For the board to for the
And
so and call the comment. Call for there. Dan, when to do it? It's not,
So at this time,
I would like.
Point of
that and con- and it's kind of be the
Call.
point of order. If nomination
So
is to add
Since I believe we were the most. And I believe so at this time, first motion made for pass and is correct. That's okay.
for
Yep.
I can't hear.
Thank you.
back here.
Next item on I'd like to make
Doug,
point of
what's the point? appropriate service that can we call Dr. He said,
Can you voice vote?
No, show up.
so so it's been appropriate.
Thank you so much for the.
It's been
in that decide apparently that but and not but
So what the and but like to be patient, but asking and I do.
and and that board
And has been nabbed extra power. And so to
by 100. That we, Dr. Shelton or the superintendent. So what? So so do not have interpretation.
But there's no 1, 2, 3, 4.
Look all the way to the left.
So so 3 and 1, 2.
Hold up, like you can't see the bottom.
Um, any comments?
yeah, problems. And there's
Vice President role. It hasn't been.
okay. So the
Just if
and I, but it does not appear. When I pull, it is.
It's the the old system. Okay, go ahead. So we the do pop to what they are wouldn't be.
So
Thank you.
Can we call for the vote, please? So so
Vote due to Naveed Bakir's vote.
the next, the next is the call.
this committee. Citizen. Sex.
Grab how to I
Thank you. So what can change? So committee has, or the and and the so Mr. Liu, would you?
Yes, I will.
Do we want so
Mr.
we didn't vote.
Yes, sir. The other um they wanted three people. So to that is Uh, so
fewer maybe have what
so the that this conversation on like I foresee would be a
right.
So,
okay. No. Call for
For 7th to our so
we, so
okay, but
There wasn't a motion, so it doesn't have to be treated like.
okay.
the chair
She's actually making the motion.
To make the change. Thank you.
somebody
Minutes be adopted with the
Following changes.
Okay, thank you so much. I'd like to make the exact to be the minutes. So based session on decided private room mayor so that
We're not,
we can discuss.
She making the,
We
so,
to that update the
second.
I'd like to make it clear, present for the record.
it's been approved. Any
session that the between and I would agree. that happened. State
That's what we
and Department of Justice, which we didn't.
call for the vote, please.
These people are children.
So
Under
Thank-
pro-
So
So call for the vote, please. Any discussion? Call for the vote. Just satisfied
When, if the board commit together.
the motion's been
Do the beginning as at the same
place people so that when we have that discussion and if there's a
and
yeah determine more so the next item on the agenda so so is that- we're moving to what for? Amen. 1205, 1206, 801. let's- and- Any so
All right, sorry. I'd like to make a seated. Our
Mr. Uh, term
my
yeah, so we need the discussion. I mean, another motion before we have a discussion. Yeah, he's, so, you, motion?
so and
former
yeah, so the work with been take what has budget and also 50 C the majority in Delaware, you know what uh, we've been what's the county doing? The and on kind of like a so just for, so we and we can maybe 100 go. Yeah, a percentage breakdown and going to chart. It the other thing, but one of They said, hey, and my property on property value. You know, the state. So 3.2 something percent. Whatever you it may be $100,000. County's got its weird assessment. Is part two people that look at that summary. You know, at the bottom, and all the account codes. On if we sliced and diced next few
Provide on the distribution.
I don't know decision, but in federal definitely help show that.
But school.
Yeah, so I think your system. Yeah, so what is and they run it through a whole bunch of typically sure a position of some kids get if your school enough more for and which schools then sure.
Call for Dr. Schell.
There's three more parts to this. This is the three things that got voted.
Is,
The first thing is C-Box.
i-
The first one on the agenda right now is this new member of C-Box. That was with the last motion. Point. Are you presenting the new member of CBOC?
Yes. So the new Monica Pichero.
any questions? Motion carried. That's not the one before. All right, got it.
So, good evening. Sorry, Bob? Yeah.
So in case
No. Yeah, the one you had up. Yeah. I think, open it up. Can you go to the next page? There we go. Okay, good. Tonight we're going to go over the 25 preliminary. Doug, you did a great job covering some of that material. We're going to touch on that again too here. He didn't really do justice to the work we've done. He's actually helped us get tax parcel information directly from Newcastle County. Our programmers are working on a website that will allow our taxpayers to put their address in and see their bill, their current bill. In fact, what I'm planning to give the team tomorrow is, after this evening's tax warrant's approved, I'm going to give them the components so we can show the dynamic and the change from last year to this year. We're testing it. I'm hoping by another month or so, we're going to be able to reveal here and show the folks here. So it's something I think that this will help us as we move into the conversation around both the operating and capital referendum. So as you can see here with the financial report that's up on the page, this is, if you recall from the spring, it is mission critical to the success of the district that we keep tabs on the carryover funds that we have, how much money that will have to carry us from July through October. This is the low period of tax receipts for the school district. It is the most critical part of the time that we have to manage our proceeds, our receipts, payroll, we can cover all of our expenditures and all of our commitments. I'd like to mention, and this is a little bit small, a little bit, the green carryovers is 20 encumbered that we need to be at, and 6.8 million unencumbered that we need to be at for our carryover for this upcoming school year. We are there. We are in good shape for this school year. However,